Hey guys, tonight we're slipping back in time to ancient Greece. Picture this: the soft glow from our fairy lights casts playful shadows on the walls, and the muffled hum of late-night traffic outside somehow makes it all the cozier. Imagine waking up in a time where texting wasn't a thing, and you probably wouldn't survive a minute without scrolling your feed. I mean, let's be honest, ancient Athens is hectic, and your snooze button's not going to help much here. Before you get too comfy, feel free to tap like or subscribe, but only if you're genuinely enjoying the calm around here. Tell me where you're listening from, and what time it is over there. I love seeing how far this sleepy little journey reaches. Now, go ahead and lower the lights. Maybe let a fan hum in the background, and let's drift gently into tonight's story together. You wake up to the sound of distant market vendors, like a melodic morning chatter wafting through the open space. Your bed is more like a blanket whimsically draped over a hard surface, making you long for your own snuggly mattress back home, the one you spent too many weekends picking out. Outside, the sun is peeking over the terracotta roofs, casting a warm golden hue over the quaint buzz of ancient Athens. You step out with the faintest escapist fantasy that this is all a dreamy escape room, but without the clues or exit signs. Your feet shuffle along dusty, uneven ground, the kind that makes you admire sidewalks more than ever. The chatter of Greek, lilting and lyrical, envelops every alley. It's a more musical version of those whispers you hear in cafes, but only when you're too tired for eavesdropping. You pass by a group of women expertly balancing amphoras atop their heads, walking with far more grace than you trouser stumble down the street with a Starbucks in hand. The bustling agora comes into view, like the central hub of memes, reels, and all things social. Except it's a lot busier, and nobody's taken a selfie in eons. Imagine a space vibrant with a hum of craftsmen and merchants peddling everything from olive oil to intricate pottery. Each stall an Instagram story you just can't swipe away from. The smell is an earthy mix of herbs, spices, and the distant brine of salted fish. Here's a nugget of truth for you. The agora was the beating heart of any Greek city-state, its stalls offering a century's worth of missed messages and conversations. But the view is a tad overwhelming. So naturally, historians still argue whether the bustling agora kept its city running smoothly, or if it was just ancient chaos waiting to burst. From time to time, a goat meanders through the crowd, its nonchalance more relatable than you'd think. It's like that one friend who doesn't get flustered when they can't find a Wi-Fi signal. You, on the other hand, feel akin to when you've got unread notifications, excited, but also slightly frazzled, though there's a tinge of uncertainty filling the air. Some shopkeepers are at odds about rather mundane matters, like the authenticity of someone's pottery or the latest news. Historians are still unclear on how they verified these things before the internet. Honestly, aren't you just a little relieved there's no need to fact-check a meme? As you navigate this lively sprawl, you can't help but wish for a subtle deliver everything to door app. Your pocket is heavier with currency that resembles shiny coins, not the kind you tap effortlessly as you wander past temptation. Amid the noise, you overhear a pair of philosophers embroiled in a spirited debate. Their discourse is animated like a viral TikTok, but hyped by oaths to Athena rather than irony, and you're there, caught mid-scroll of an ancient discourse feed you just walked into, wishing you had some popcorn, or at the very least, an option to like and engage without actually participating. Through all this, there's an undeniable charm in the chaos, much like that of a busy weekend market you stumble upon during Sunday errands. It's funny, but you realize how much background chatter can feel like a meditative podcast episode when you're not expected to truly listen. And okay, here's the wild part. You notice that much like today, retail therapy might very well have been invented right here, with shoppers comparing artisanal goods with the flair only a precarious economy can encourage. As another group bickers over olive oil quality, it's a gentle reminder of how some things never change, even if you've traded trade disputes for shopping cart errors. As the languid morning stretches out, promising the unfolding of even more curious encounters, you can't shake the sensation that your modern self would thrive as a curious spectator amidst these vibrant stalls of ancient life. You make your way through the bustling agora, the marketplace transitioning from an invigorating blur of sights and sounds to a series of delightful vignettes. You're suddenly struck by the tang of roasted meats, frying fish, and bread freshly baked by people who, perhaps unknowingly, hold the gastronomic secrets to pleasing even the pickiest of ancient Athenian palates. Meandering by a food stall, you glance at the peculiar array of delicacies sprawled across worn wooden boards. Translucent olives glisten alongside sun-wilted figs and cheese that's one sniff away from a culinary adventure. Or misadventure, you think wisely. Street food here doesn't quite resemble your late-night pizza run, but it has its own allure. Like the brave culinary explorer you are, or think you are, buoyed by curiosity more than courage, you reach for a small morsel speared on a splintered stick. It's a morsel of fried fish, so small you'd call it antiquities finger food. You bite tentatively, just enough crunch and enough gaminess to both intrigue and slightly unsettle the unfamiliar taste buds. Fun fact, ancient Greeks weren't huge on elaborate feasts. Simple snacks were much more common, with varied diets often reflecting regional specialties. The quirky bit? Yep, they even had something similar to our modern gyros, but in a more literal, wrap-free form. Nearby, a vendor expertly swipes dough over a circular stone, setting the foundations for what looks like a primitive flatbread. You watch captivated, mentally noting the similarity to watching those mesmerizing cooking reels, with the notable absence of catchy background music and flashy edited loops. Historians still argue whether these simple stalls represented all classes in Greek society equally, or if they were primarily for the elite seeking novelty over necessity. Makes you ponder a bit, doesn't it? You can almost imagine philosophers, warriors, and poets alike converging here, all jockeying for attention and sustenance alike. While taking it all in, a goat tiptoes past, managing a surprisingly graceful trot. You chuckle softly, imagining its long-lost relative, perhaps inspiring a certain Cartoon Network way back when. It munches on scraps with all the casual authority of a creature that knows one thing definitively. It was there first. As you wander, trying to look interested and intellectual, despite your fumbling grasp on all things historical, you're tempted to ask for some olives. But open-air food stalls and ancient hygiene standards make you reconsider. You pivot smoothly, like zipping past the kale aisle in a grocery store without breaking stride, through the day's blandishments and chaotic moves. Everyone here seems animated by some invisible thread of ancient energy, carrying on with a determination reminiscent of the faces glued to phones on subways. People barter with more fervor than a midnight sale, their voices an orchestrated chaos of promises and haggles. A small child weaves through the crowd, his laughter a clean, free sound, like happiness itself found a way to manifest physically. You listen to the flow of exchanges, catching bits of philosophy mixed effortlessly with mundane day-to-day chatter. There's something endearing about it all, an antiquated assembly line of thoughts and opinions. It dawns on you that these ancestors had their priorities sorted liking. You know, really profound back and forths at coffee shop tables. You feel a twinge of longing for your habitual latte crafting, each swirl of froth its own philosophical musings. And isn't it wild, all these centuries later, that people are still people, wired to snack, argue, laugh, and care for wandering animals who don't pay rent? It's a universal truth. Before there were cell phones, there was community in every corner, igniting stories we still write today. The aroma of sweetened nuts drifts by, enticing like a daydream you chase but can never quite catch. You're wandering through the layered sounds of commerce and community when you catch sight of a small gathering, perhaps a symposium or an impromptu philosophical debate. These assemblies were like the OG think tanks, sans the digital deep dives, of course. Curiosity piqued. You drift closer, drawn in by an earnest dialogue that spins around unfamiliar but entrancing topics. The central figures seem to hold the crowd's fascination, much like influencers dropping sage advice or something close enough on their feeds. A mix of robes billow gently in the breeze, accentuating gestures that narrate points further than mere words can reach. In their midst stands a philosopher, eyes bright with the zeal of someone on the verge of a breakthrough, or perhaps just desperate for an espresso. With an easy smile, he welcomes you into the group, as if sensing a spirit ready to absorb his theories like a podcast binge on a lazy Sunday afternoon. They touch on ideas of virtue, knowledge, and beauty, words tumbling out as quickly as your thoughts, unguarded and profound. Suddenly, the conversation shifts to whether everything has a form, an essence. It's not unlike the debate about whether smoothies or shakes are the true essence of blended bliss. You chuckle softly to yourself, forgetting for a moment your role as a silent observer. Listening to them, you realize they are kindred spirits. With anyone who's been caught in a deep, late-night chat thread, overtaken by philosophical wonderings. Everyone here seems animated by the intoxication of ideas, like that spark you get during a brainstorm that practically begs you to sketch it out on a napkin. And here's the quirky bit. The symposium wasn't just about scholarly pursuits. These gatherings, let's just say, involved a fair amount of indulgence and merriment. Imagine old-time toga parties with a service of fermented grape juice. In essence, a spirited TED Talk with slightly blurred lines. Historians still argue whether these dialogues led to structured scientific methods or simply delightful intellectual wandering under the subtle influence of vino. Tempers around the circle rise occasionally, but it's all cool, much like an animated debate over splitting the bill among friends. As the discussion unfolds further, the voices rise and fall, each new point breaking like a refreshing wave. It dawns on you that life here, even amid its complex simplicity, requires more than the dabble of understanding you'd anticipated. These philosophers would undoubtedly have thrived online, you contemplate, dropping threads of wisdom garnished with hashtags and fleeting insights. And honestly, here's the wild part. You're suddenly resting a bit more comfortably within the realization that these ancient debates mirror modern Twitter spats, except longer, and perhaps a tad bit friendlier. In the end, no one truly minds who wins because everyone leaves lighter, having spun their experiences into tales this crowd will tell as surely as intricately embellished yarns. As the debates wind down and the participants begin to meander toward other pursuits, they leave with a sense of having shared something worthwhile. There's a tranquility in this fading dissipation, an enduring echo of voices that lingers within the agora's vibrant heart. And so, you slip away, the afternoon sun now casting elongated shadows, considering how timeless this ritual of exchanging ideas truly is. Maybe next time, you'll weave into their talk, slipping your voice into the clamor, just another melody added to the ancient chorus. The sun now hangs high, casting a brighter, more direct glow that makes you squint and wish desperately for sunglasses. It's the sort of heat that makes shade a precious commodity, like finding an unoccupied couch spot when you arrive late to a movie night. Feeling the need for a reprieve, you wander toward a quieter patch in the agora, clutching on to whatever drafts of air you can catch, a bit like trying to salvage Wi-Fi bars in an elevator. In this small respite, you find yourself next to an olive tree, its gnarled roots clinging tenaciously to the earth like a resolute hermit crab to its shell. It's here you notice a small watering hole where a vendor with grizzled hands and a surprisingly jovial grin offers you a drink. The concoction, a sort of fermented honey brew, is ancient Greece's attempt at hydration and recreation, a two-for-one combo that even modern vending machines might envy. You sip tentatively, catching the sweet and slightly tart flavor. It's not quite your preferred artisanal iced tea, but there's a certain charm to experiencing the original curators of mixology at play. Did you know the Greeks were dab hands at brewing such unique concoctions, believing them to restore not just the body, but the spirit too? The quirky bit is, sometimes the latter effect might be truer than the former. Nearby, a cluster of musicians strums on lyres, their melody light and breezy, tailor-made for a siesta by the seaside. If you could just convince yourself you weren't, in fact, inland. The music acts as a soft white noise, surprisingly therapeutic, almost like that soothing app you swear by during those particularly restless nights. As you luxuriate in this calm vibe, the air is filled with pleasant chatter. Families stroll and stop, pointing at colorful trinkets like kids eyeing candy. The wholesomeness of it all hits differently, like scrolling through photos of dogs in costumes and feeling your day brighten without needing much else. Historians still argue whether such gatherings by the water, often temples of conversation and camaraderie, were more sacred or social. Perhaps you muse between sips. The line between the two was never as strict as they might seem. After all, who's to say that exchanging tales around a watering hole is any different from the community screens and virtual gatherings dotting our lives today? In the gentle lull of mid-afternoon Athens, life doesn't feel so much like the dynamic theater it was hours before. Instead, there's a quiet underpinning to the buzz, an understanding among its inhabitants that some moments are meant for stillness, even in a city that rarely sleeps. Here's the unexpected whimsy. You catch sight of a playful pup darting around, its sinewy frame darting nimbly through crowds, claiming pets like its celebrity status at a pop-up. There it goes, nudging strangers into easy smiles, tail whipping a fast-paced rhythm that no lyre could hope to match. With the pup's antics providing brief comedic intermission, you can't help but laugh. Ancient graffiti nearby, Marking the spot reminds you some things never change. Back then, they were doodles, and today, maybe hashtags or vines. But the expression is the same. You've got half a mind to join in the fun, but instead, you lean back, the trunk of the olive tree, a surprisingly accommodating backrest. You don't mind this bit of time travel. The halcyonic reverie, the laughter, and that sweetness of the honey drink lingering on your palate make these stolen minutes feel like a soft, unexpected dream. In this town of ageless tales and communal heartbeats, you find something more than mere historical awareness. You glimpse the solidarity that binds us across distance and time. The simple truth that humans are beautifully, hopelessly drawn to seek connection amidst the world's inevitable rush. As the afternoon sun begins its downward arc, the gentle warmth wraps around you like a cozy blanket, inviting a mellow drowsiness that tickles the edges of your awareness. Your belly slightly hints that it might be time for more than just snacks. There's a dinner feast slowly taking shape within the blinking windows lining the agora. With a languid stretch, you rise from your spot under the olive tree, ready to dive further into the rhythms of ancient life. The winding streets are now tinged with a golden glow, and the shifting light evokes that magical hour just before sunset, when everything feels slightly surreal. You're led by the promise of faux feasting, tracing your path to a gathering space where benches are already filling with people whose laughter rings like a melodious brood at a boisterous family reunion. The tables are set with simple yet inviting arrangements. Platters crowd together like an enthusiastic conga line, bearing offerings of bread, olives, and something resembling what your culinary musings suggest might be roasted lamb. Fun fact, bread was such a staple in ancient Greece that they formed a close relationship with their bakers, akin to the way some of us eagerly await the local cafe's first release of pumpkin spice season. They even believed bread could hold a touch of divinity. Imagine sending a loaf with a prayer for a good harvest. A soft chuckle escapes when notices that there aren't any utensils in sight. Seems dining etiquette here might confuse your fine dining sensibilities. Fingers friendly was apparently a thing long before it became a marketing gimmick. And there you are, suddenly thrust into a simulation of finger-licking adventure, elbow deep in what feels like the perfect blend of comfort food and nostalgia. As the banquet progresses, stories roll over the tables like mist, bubbling forth in infectious waves. With each exchange, the language of humanity spills into grins and nods, as lightly punctuated as the soft pings of group chat notifications. You overhear snippets of everything, from mundane market exchanges to the juiciest local goss, tidily woven into the evening's backdrop. Historians still argue whether these community dinners served primarily as courteous convocations, or if they harbored some deeper political and social orchestrations. An implied complexity layered on every reunion makes navigating ancient relationships intriguing, a glimpse into the subtle dance of influence and tradition. Okay, so here's the goat with a smile twist, because you didn't see this coming, did you? Turns out, a mischievous goat finds its way into the celebration, providing unexpected entertainment and the basis for even more lively banter. Honestly, there's no meme that captures its antics, but laughter alone seems to offer the solution everyone needs. As the meal stretches into evening, darkness descends languidly, its embrace transforming the room into a cozy cocoon, lively with flickering torchlight and vibrant conversation. Each voice weaves a unique thread into the tapestry of camaraderie. And within this spirited haven, where time merges with memory, laughter, and good company, you feel a comforting resonance with the past. It's akin to smiling secretly at a midnight encounter with cake remnants in the glow of an open fridge door. The ceaseless motion of ancient time echoes the odd swoosh at lonely roads during lulls in modern life's hustle. In both spaces, stories unfold around food and friends, never ceasing and yet never remaining static. A harmonious continuity illustrated in lovely, quiet moments. Wouldn't modern dinner parties feel wonderfully enriched if borrowed a leaf from these heartfelt gatherings? As dessert slowly rounds the corner, sprinkled with honey as generously as a judge awards creativity points, you find an unexpected sweetness within you, one that whispers of gratitude for shared meals, laughter, and the threads of human connection lovingly cradling both then and now. The evening air is tinged with the sweet fragrance of honey and roasted nuts, remnants from the joyous feast. It feels like the kind of dinner where you'd linger just a bit longer, savoring every morsel of conversation as much as the food itself. The sky above begins to embrace the vast, enigmatic cloak of night, studded with the twinkling constellations that Greece seemed to have a special kinship with. You find yourself wandering toward the edge of Athens' expanse, where the chatter of philosophers has given way to the whispered secrets of the cosmos. It's the kind of tranquil moment where you might just curl up under the stars with a canine companion wrapped close. Only in this case, you assume the role of the indulgent seeker, hoping to sip a little more wisdom from the pool of quietude. In the distance, the amphitheater looms, its presence as majestic as the crisp cover of a hardcover you've long meant to read but haven't quite picked up yet. The Thespian's Domain, a sacred site where tragedies and comedies threaded dramas to life, is about to host another performance, part of a tradition sprinkled with intrigue and allure. Theatrical masks stare back at you in jovial silence as you step inside, and you can't help feeling as if you've accidentally scrolled into an open life drama tab. But now, you're fully committed to the play unfolding around you. The seats fill quickly. Laughter effortlessly flows through the rows with a warmth that wraps snugly around you like an oversized sweater fresh from the dryer. Here's a delightful twist. Greek theater, believed to root in religious festivals, often incorporated choral performances supplemented by actors. The quirky side of this fact: masks with slightly exaggerated features meant audiences miles away could still catch the nuances of the drama. They're like emojis, you think, but handcrafted and capable of expressing far more than a few pixels could offer. Historians still argue whether these performances primarily served a religious function or functioned more as a social primer, reflecting the satirical intricacies of human discrepancy. Just remember, it's long-winded plays here, not the 10-second burst that's become our favorite engagement rate today. You settle in as the evening colors shift once more, bending into hushed tones, punctuated by the comic antics weaving through imminent scenes. As the first actors take the stage, you recall that this art blended music and history to offer narratives that encompass the shared human experience. Alternatively, the comedic unfoldings hint at the possibility that perhaps humanity, in its wisdom, fully accepted that life's absurdity deserves some toe-tapping musical accompaniment. The actors dance through acts with a theatrical flair that feels larger than life, conjuring characters with their voices and movements. It's not so different from those moments when someone recounts an outrageous story via elaborate hand gestures and the flair of an artist trying to capture your attention, twisting mundane reality into something truly extraordinary. As the plot develops, weaving between comedy and poignancy, you find yourself absorbed in the rhythm of the tale, much like getting lost in a particularly engaging binge show. The themes resonate with your modern sensibilities, recounting timeless foibles and joys with such eloquence that it reaches across eons. The audience's laughter often punctuates the air like a gentle punctuation mark interspersed throughout poetry. Every bright note offers a shared release that binds the throng together, emphasizing their kinship despite varying backgrounds. Isn't it fascinating how connectedness is timeless, like the subtle effects of a sunset photograph perpetually cherished? And so, beneath the gentle swirl of stars, your thoughts drift to the enduring power of storytelling, a magical vehicle that transports us across epochs and transforms our realities with each evocative nuance. The tales echo old, but feel new in every subtle curve and winding turn, providing a comforting reminder that whether today or millennia ago, the human heart beats to the same timeless tune. As the curtain begins its gradual descent and the play reaches its heartwarming conclusion, you're left with the realization that perhaps not much has changed. Boys and girls in ancient and present cities alike still turn to stories, immersing themselves in their vivid wonder and rediscovering life afresh. You smile, content in the knowledge that stories will always cast their spell, linking life's diverse moments into one beautiful melodic chorus. As the final whispers of applause fade into the starry night, you step out of the amphitheater, feeling simultaneously enchanted and calmed, much like the gentle sigh that comes after a moving film finally fades to black. The cool breeze rustles softly through the olive trees, carrying with it the distant echoes of laughter that tumble down Athens' ancient hillsides like melodic threads of shared joy. A subtle glow from torchlight bathes the streets in a warm embrace, reminiscent of fairy lights strung across a backyard party, cultivating a dreamlike sense of belonging and continuity stretching across millennia. You walk through the dusk-lit pathways, your steps soft and unhurried, with the city revealing its quieter, more introspective side. As your journey meanders past the shadows of temple columns, those listening stones of history, a sense of reverence threads through you. It's as if Athens itself draws its pensive breath, granting you an invitation to wander into the essence of its spirit, a world where stories, ideas, and traditions linger in the cool night air, like the fading perfume of a newly closed book. Your path unfurls alongside the Acropolis, its majestic silhouette simultaneously iconic and humbling against the dark sky, haloed with stars scattered like icing sugar across rich velvet. The Parthenon stands timeless and grand, one foot in history and the other dipping into the collective subconscious of human memory, an eternal lighthouse guiding hearts and minds. Historians ponder whether it stood purely as a temple or more a testament to civic pride and ancient architectural achievement. It strikes you that perhaps its glory truly lay in its ability to encapsulate all of these, and then some. It makes you wonder what stories those gilded stones would share if they had their own set of late-night talk shows. The moon cast its silvery glow, creating perfect harmony with the gentle patter of steps. In this moment of nighttime solitude, history seems to envelop you in its embrace, like a reminder of where you've been, even as where you're going quietly beckons too. Ahead, you catch sight of a small gathering near a candlelit bonfire reflecting stories on the night air. You can't help drawing closer, its flickering glow as inviting as an unexpected message from an old, cherished friend. People congregate around it, their tones hushed but vibrant, sharing tales and smiles beneath the cosmic canopy, a beacon of warmth and fellowship echoing ancient ties. You settle into the circle, easing into the fold as seamlessly as a well-worn hoodie washed by life's countless tides. Stories ripple through the group like melodies gently fanned from a hidden flute. They sagely balance between myth and memory, whisking imagination aloft, each voice resonant with the soul of the wandering bard, conjuring visions as vivid as the secret landscapes nurtured behind closed eyelids. At moments, you catch phrases spirited with intergenerational humor, light-hearted anecdotes or witticisms that trail like pixie dust, leaving you grinning, recognizing how comfortingly human it all is. Laughter erupts from time to time, pure as light traversing water, uncomplicated by the weight of the world, reminding you of the softest pleasures nestled in shared spontaneity. As the night lingers lovingly, woven gently between conversations and wafts of crackling ember, you're deeply comforted by the elegant weave of ancient narratives and the enduring truth that some things are meant to be cherished across time. You absorb the cozy hum of stories, finding solace in their picturesque imaginings. Inevitably, the fire's glow begins to dwindle along with the night, resting its softly dimmed warmth upon you like a gentle lullaby. Each star carves its arc through the velvet sky, playing its part in the eternity surrounding this moment of human connection. Finally, you rise, feeling enveloped by the timeless tapestry of friendship, love, and laughter, a melodious echo spanning the ages. That delicate thread clings tenderly, weaving bumps and bruises of existence into a rich celebration of memory, a gentle flicker that reassures you beneath warm blankets and salt-kissed dreams. Stepping into the embrace of deep night, you cradle the profound illusion within, as though the day's meanderings brought you through more than just the lovely echoes of Greece. Somewhere, between fleeting remnants and easing twilights, you found a dreamy reminder that life, in all its permutations, remains beautifully filled with heart and harmony, forever an undimmed lighthouse in the cyclical tide of time. The night deepens, and you find yourself guided by the silvery thread of moonlight along a winding path that gently pulls you back toward the heart of the city. Athens, settling into the hush of twilight, exudes a whispering charm that cradles your wandering spirit like a cozy scarf against the evening's embrace. Each step brings a soft symphony of crickets and distant echoes, underscoring the solitude shared by fellow moonlit travelers. You pass through quiet neighborhoods where families gather around tables as age-old stories intermingle with new chapters, weaving a tapestry that blankets each household in a patchwork of heartfelt warmth. Shadows dance across the cobbled streets, echoing tales told around backyard bonfires during those endless summer nights when stars seem to twinkle just for you. The scents wafting from open windows tug nostalgically at your senses, like curls of smoke rising from a fragrant candle. Herbs hang heavy in the air, and you imagine families savoring slow-cooked stews, laughter mixing with the clatter of dishes, a universal language of companionship binding communities together. You reflect on your own kitchen adventures, those culinary escapades spent joyfully and sometimes clumsily, concocting mini masterpieces on the stove. These ancient echoes remind you that fragrance is eternal, a universal means of connecting hearts across time. As you stroll onward, the Parthenon silhouette remains a steadfast sentinel in your peripheral view. Its presence, unspeaking yet deeply felt, is like a timeless confidant who lovingly stores stories whispered across history's canvas, bearing testament to a human endeavor etched lovingly into stone. And here's an amusing tidbit. Those magnificent structures were once vibrantly painted, creating colorful spectacles that might just rival today's abstract mural art in vibrancy. Sadly, only in fading memories and scholarly musings do they remain tangible, like forgotten favorite songs that linger just moments from recollection. Historians still argue whether these architectural gems served pragmatic purposes in civil life, religious sanctuaries, or were simply statements of Athenian swagger, a blend of pride, reverence, and cultural panache. As you linger near this iconic scene, you find yourself charmed by its multifaceted aura, much like flipping through a photo album, gleaning newfound stories from familiar pages. A gentle gust of wind, surprisingly cool against your skin, nudges you toward the corner of a bustling street, where a modest tavern, lanterns swaying softly in the breeze, offers the promise of warmth and rest. Inside, the dim light orchestrates a symphony of wooden tables and friendly voices, reminiscent of neighborhood hangouts where bartenders know your usual and anecdotes flow in comforting abundance. You settle into a cozy corner, tucking yourself into the generous embrace of time-honored hospitality and camaraderie. The barkeep, attentive yet knowing, sets a steaming goblet before you, its gentle curls of vapor carrying the notes of honeymead mingled with subtle spices, a lovely testament to drink fostering friendship across cultures and years and red-eye flights. Nearby, an impromptu game of strategy unfolds, a precursor, perhaps, to modern board game nights attended with equal fervor. You watch them, strategy hopping from one mind to another, like a synchronous dance of intellect, while chuckles echo with the glee of shared victories and near misses. It's a tableau that might as well have been snapped and shared on timelines, captioned simply, "Game night forever." As sips of your warming drink weave into the evening's narrative, you find peace resting gently on your shoulders, grounding you in life's continuous ebb and flow. Every smile and whispered conversation surrounds you, flooding your soul with an overwhelming sense of belonging, as though you've briefly unlocked the secret to the rhythm of finding yourself in each heartbeat of every adventure. The tavern buzz remains, wrapping around you in a tender hug, a brocade of moments that huddles together like a quilt formed from loved ones' laughter. Slowly, the world outside begins to blur into a gentle shade of slumber. And so, contentedly lulled by the soft hums and heartening tales shared within these walls, the night eases to a slow, lilting waltz, leaving with you the gift of its ethereal secrets. As the scene dissolves into the hazy embrace of an ending dream, you cradle the notion that perhaps it's only in journeys whispered through time that we find our way home to ourselves, time after time, with stories weaving the binding thread of that magical slumbered dreamscape. As the tavern's lively atmosphere slowly tucks itself away for the night, you rise from your cozy corner, a gentle contentment curling around your heart like a favorite blanket. You step outside, greeted once more by the sweet serenade of crickets and the rhythmic plod of sandals on cobblestones, weaving a private melody that accompanies you under the starlit canopy. The moon washes the streets in a silvery glow, and you onboard the moment like a particularly mesmerizing podcast, letting the quiet charms of Athens lull you into their embrace. Somewhere in the allure of these timeless streets lies a connection, a strange, almost magical thread holding past and present in a gentle equilibrium that warms you on the inside. Your feet tread familiarly upon this ancient path, but you pause at intervals, absorbing the soft whispers of distant laughter trailing from nearby homes and the chorus of cicadas doing a jigsaw puzzle of sound. Each moment is like an unfinished memory nestled close to those you already cherish. Historians would still debate, if asked, the precise role these historic gatherings and rituals played in forming what became the foundation of Western civilization. To you, though, every quizzical header oscillates between profound contemplation and giddy wonder, like leafing through old postcards with notes penned from newfound friends around the world. And here's an unexpected twist. You almost stumble upon an alley artist's handiwork, a skillful chalk mural drawn with such artistry it compels you to pause. Though chalk lacks permanence, its expression dances like time's colorful one-liner, fleeting yet charged with profound meaning, much like the overlooked whispers of a once vibrant hue of temple walls. The air carries enchanting reminders of nutmeg, cedar, and olive wood, still warm from the day's sun, drawing a smile as you drift on your way. There's a magnetic comfort in their embrace, blending echoes of refried friendships, candlelit dreams, and a tender bond uniting past with future like threads of sweet remembrance lovingly entwined. The scene delights, offering all the needed context for a deep, rooted exhale, like the soft relief found in abandoned chairs on dew-misted lawns or falling back into an oversized beanbag, cloaked by the comforting cadence of rain. As you meander through the lulling quiet of Athens, your heart beats with a gentle cadence, synchronizing with the city's pulse, dancing to the myths and truths concealed within the spaces between then and now. You contemplate that this pulse, a living, breathing memory, is something real that persists through us. In these contemplative spaces, humanity discovers itself, a recognition that neither time nor distance nor circumstance may dislodge us from shared journeys. With each footfall, knowledge pulses, a symphony of diverse laughter and tender stories, effortlessly sowing the seeds of belonging. Yielding to the quiet ease of night's caress, you wander toward a rustic terrace cafe, its lone corner cradling the promise of views across hazy, moon-kissed rooftops. Reflective moments unfold like unwritten letters to kindred spirits, those shimmering dreamscapes tucked between closed eyelids and open hearts. You watch the city below, tracing its lines and curves as stars trace orbits above, both fixed in their unfurling wonder, lulls of timeless fantasies backlit by Athens' embrace. In this luminescent hush, hearts find harmony beneath twinkling guide stars, reflecting the heart's gentle, drifting dreams. And with that final view, held close and captured, the curtains of night draw tenderly against soft whispers of promise stretching into timeless dimensions. With a nod to this great playground of memory, you turn inward, feeling the flicker of a yawn's approach, a farewell posture that seems naturally woven from the silken thread of cherished outstretched mists. You begin tracing a path home, softly captivated by stories spun amid silvery dewdrops of starlight and anchored freedom. As you tiptoe into dream's gentle spell, those phosphorescent fragments whisper tales, weaving histories boundless. Gently, These tales become your guide into the lull of dreams shared beneath the eternal night's watch, where wanderers rest. And as dreams tenderly close, your heart flows sweet lullabies beneath ancient skies, a descending narrative filled with tender moments, leaving letters, their grace unspoken, welcoming you home, where sleep softly awaits. As you continue your path through the quiet streets of ancient Athens, the night wraps around you, deeper now, like a midnight blanket speckled with silver stars. Each step you take feels lighter, the weight of the day's experiences quietly settling into place, creating a tapestry of memories that ebb and flow in your mind like the gentle tide kissing the shoreline. With each breath, the crisp night air clears your thoughts, rendering them like the constellations above, distant and timeless, yet intricately connected. You find yourself meandering toward a small, hidden garden, a pocket of nature tucked thoughtfully amidst the city's historical glow. It's the kind of secret place that exists in every town, known only to those willing to wander a little further, where the thrill of discovery mingles with the tranquility of finding something all your own. Within, the garden is serene and hushed, with moonbeams filtering through a delicate canopy of leaves, casting dapples of light and shadow on the path before you. The scent of jasmine dances lightly on the air, a floral specter that tickles your senses, leading you deeper into this sanctuary where the night seems to hold its breath in reverence. You pause near a small stone bench, its surface cool against your fingertips. Here, in this quiet refuge, the universe briefly shrinks to a heart-shaped whisper before expanding once more. A vast expanse teeming with unspoken dreams and echoing voices of those who once walked these same paths under a similar sky. Historians continue to unravel whether such gardens were mere refuges, or if they served as sacred spaces, their verdant embrace offering contemplation for thinkers and dreamers alike. You muse that perhaps these natural havens held the unique capacity to transform ordinary moments into sparkling gems of clarity, a refuge for musings to swirl softly, like leaves caught in an autumn breeze. Settling onto the bench, you find yourself sinking into a kind of meditative reflection, much like scrolling through old photos for reminiscence on a rainy afternoon. Your thoughts drift back, trailing over the day's journey spent immersing in the vibrant tapestry of ancient life, each encounter threaded like pearls on a string that loops timelessly back to the present moment. And here's a delightful, whimsical thought. Imagine if those who once wandered here could glimpse today's world through your eyes. Would they chuckle at our evolving curiosities and innovations, or find a gentle kinship in our enduring pursuit of connection, meaning, and beauty? With a deep, slow breath, you let the garden's tranquility wash over you, bathing your senses in the peaceful balm only nature's embrace can offer. The whisper of leaves overhead provides a soft lullaby, serenading you into a state of serenity as your gaze lifts skyward to join the moon in its nightly vigil. The night lengthens, each passing minute unfurling like pages in a tale written in starlight and shadow. Here, beneath the universe's vast, sprawling narrative, you uncover the gentle truth that homes are not merely places. They are feelings gathered like wayward stars and dreams gently held in the heart. The garden, this secret sliver of time and space, releases a subtle, hypnotic pulse that soothes your weary soul, inviting your eyelids to soften their hold until your lashes brush like feathered promises against your cheeks. And in those final, fleeting moments, where the breath of the world hushes everything to near silence, you find yourself cradled by the gentle resonance of life's eternal heartbeat. Each note, every melody, becomes the lull that carries you beyond. The night, a devoted keeper, nurtures you with the softest of dreams, whispering sweetly as it guides your spirit gently through the realms where time lingers and fades. Here, nestled within the embrace of this tranquil Eden, you drift effortlessly into slumber's tender embrace. Your heart, light and buoyant, rides the rhythm of moonlight and memory. Dreams, branching into infinity like soft tendrils of morning mist, weaving gently through the delicate tapestry, cradling this eternal night. As the gentle embrace of sleep begins to unfurl, you find yourself drifting along the serene river of dreams. Each memory from your time in ancient Athens shimmers like a sunbeam breaking through morning clouds, casting a warm glow across the shadowed landscape of your wandering mind. You are carried softly along this dreamscape, where reality and imagination intertwine to create a tapestry woven from threads of all you experienced. The agora's bustling chorus, mingling with the sweet aroma of honeyed wine. The lyrical debates of philosophers mingling with laughter carried on the evening breeze. It is here, in this timeless and placid river, that you sense the whispers of those long past. Their voices a soothing hum, guiding you further into the depths of slumber. You float gently, unhurried, sipping the essence of each day with a peaceful acceptance akin to the gentle sigh of a book closing after a satisfying read. In dreams, the boundaries between eras blur like watercolor against parchment, and you traverse the seamlessly blended worlds with ease. Your journey stretches out, an endless horizon dotted with familiar faces and places. Each landmark resonating with nostalgia, you wrap around yourself like the cherished comfort of an old sweater. Historians still argue over many facets of ancient life, whether their innovations ushered in inevitable progress or if they merely maintained cherished traditions. Yet here, within the safe cocoon of dreams, these ponderings melt like morning mist. What remains is the enduring truth that at the heart of everything is the simple joy of being connected to something greater than oneself. The scenes shift lazily, each one connected by the lightest touch of memory's fingertip. You find yourself in sunlit glades where stories are shared like ripe fruit passed between friends, nourishing and sweet. Each moment is filled with a golden luminescence, an idyllic vision where every face is familiar and kindness is the universal language. Here's a little whimsical twist to delight in. You glimpse the mischievous goat from earlier, trotting happily through your dreamscape with a jaunty air that elicits a sleepy chuckle. Its whimsical antics remain a delightful reminder that joy and humor have always been timeless companions in the journey of life. And as you glide deeper, enveloped by the soft crescendos of this dream symphony, the rhythm of the world slows to a gentle cadence. The past, present, and future all merge in a tender embrace, leaving you cocooned within their collective warmth, like a glowing ember nestled in the hearth of eternity. With each breath, a sensation of gratitude fills your being, expanding outward in gentle ripples till they touch the edges of your consciousness. You're left with the sense that wherever your path meanders, there's a thread connecting all the places and memories, like a favorite pair of mismatched socks that perfectly complement each other despite their distinctiveness. As the night cradles you tightly in its gentle embrace, the dreams taper into a soft hum, like the soothing notes of a lullaby carried by the wind. You sense the subtle promise of morning lying just beyond the horizon, waiting patiently for its turn to offer you a new day's adventure. In these closing breaths of sleep, the world becomes both vast and intimate, a realm where connections are drawn not by lines, but by shared experiences, laughter, and dreams that bridge the eternal divide. You curl deeper into the softness surrounding you, feeling the universe's steady heartbeat in tune with your own. When next you wake, your heart will carry echoes of this beautifully spun tale into the dawn's warm embrace. Until then, let the soothing melody of this ancient night seep softly into your dreams, like gentle rain nurturing the seeds of tomorrow. And may your spirit rest easy till morning, nestles with open arms and a gentle, welcoming sigh. In the final stillness of night, as dreams wane and give way to the whisper of dawn, you find yourself lingering within the soft cocoon of these cherished reflections. The world around you holds its breath, suspended in a fleeting moment where everything feels possible, and time itself curls protectively like a sleepy cat nestled at your feet. You float within the embracing currents of this otherworldly river, cradled by a serene understanding that your journey through ancient Greece has woven itself into the fabric of who you are. Each impression, every smile exchanged, and story shared becomes part of the intricate mosaic of your own narrative, vibrant and alive. Gradually, the horizon begins to paint itself with the delicate brushstrokes of dawn, soft, tender hues unfurling across the sky like the gentle bloom of morning glory flowers reaching toward the first timid kiss of sunlight. The world is awash with a quiet magic, capturing the harmonious balance of beginnings and endings intertwined. Your eyelids flutter gently, as if bidding farewell to the constellations that have been your steadfast companions in the night. The celestial dome offers its last lullaby, the final notes dissolving into the dew-kissed air. The sound, an echo of serenity that you tuck away in a quiet chamber of your heart, reserved for whispers of tranquility. This new dawn, a canvas not yet touched by the brush of time, holds the stories and adventures waiting just beyond the sleepy confines of the now. The air carries the promise of possibility, wrapping around you in a comforting embrace like a warm cup of tea cradled between your hands. Historians may continue to seek the perfect thread that ties past to present, their debates weaving through the corridors of academia. But within this moment, you hold your answers lightly, acknowledging that life's mysteries are best cherished in their natural state, unknowable yet beautifully profound. In dreams and in wakefulness alike, the heart finds its guide. Birdsong begins to trickle in, soft and tentative, like waking thoughts realizing themselves against the backdrop of clarity, their chorus weaving serenades to the burgeoning day. You bask in this timeless duet, feeling the gentle tug of morning draw you toward it, alive with light and rhythm. As you start to awaken, the impressions of your nocturnal journey bathe you in warmth, an infusion of ancient wisdom softly cradling your mind and spirit, like echoes from a world both distant and familiar. The quiet murmur of the city begins to rise, its heartbeat gently rumbling beneath the earth, a melodic reminder that today is another chapter, freshly turned. You stretch, the movement a languid intention, as though spilling back into consciousness with a sleepy satisfaction, treasuring the lingering echoes of your dream-born voyage. The daylight softly unfurls itself outside your window, illuminating the world in hues that invite exploration and kindness. And as you open your eyes fully to embrace this new day, the tender remembrances of ancient Athens are bronzed and etched within you, a tapestry of cherished moments ready to unveil when beckoned upon the canvas of your everyday. With a contented sigh and a heart quivering on the brink of adventure, you know the magic of that storied night will weave its way into the hours ahead. May it illuminate paths yet untrodden and bring warmth to every corner of your being as you carry its essence, much like the sun carries dawn's first light, breathing life into your journey anew. So, welcome to this morning, resplendent and glowing with possibilities. Upon this dawning tide, may you drift into today with grace and peace as your guides. Heartbeat in time with the ancient rhythm that forever whispers tales of travel, dreams, and the enduring bond that keeps every wanderer anchored and free. The first light of dawn spills gently into your room, casting a soft glow that nudges you awake, like a quiet promise caressed by morning's touch. The world outside begins to stir, each movement syncing harmoniously with the rhythm of a day waiting to unfurl its stories. You stretch lazily, feeling the warmth of your cocooned blanket, its embrace as comforting as the hushed whispers of dreams now softly bidding adieu. The melody of birdsong flutters through the open window, a symphony of nature announcing the arrival of the new day. Each note a gentle nudge. It draws you from the nestled warmth of your bed, inviting you to join the dance of sunlight filtering through the trees outside, each beam holding tales of renewal and fresh beginnings. You begin to gather your thoughts, softly piecing together fragments of your nighttime journey, those stepping stones of ancient wonder that now rest quietly in the corners of your memory. The lingering essence of Athens, with its bustling agora and lyrical debates, its colors and scents weaving a tapestry of timeless enchantment, settles into your waking consciousness like a cherished friend slipping a note into your hand. Historians, as they are wont to do, continue their pursuit of understanding, exploring the threads that connect past and present. In contrast, you hold within you the vivid experience of those moments, resonant, though not fully defined, a medley of shared humanity and ageless charm. With a gentle sigh, you rise, letting your feet find the cool embrace of the floor. The day stretches before you, vibrant with possibilities and wisps of inspiration carried from your slumber. You feel the gentle pull of adventure lingering in the air, as if beckoning you to step into its embrace, to walk hand in hand with the tender wisdom of ancient voices and the unfolding day. As you pad softly through your morning rituals, each moment feels imbued with the echoes of your Athenian wanderings, the reminders of laughter shared around table and fire, the quiet serenity of moonlit paths, all entwined within the gentle hum of life. Outside, the sun rises higher, painting the world in strokes of golden light that tint the edges of waking dreams. With a hint of anticipation, you step out into this radiant tapestry, ready to weave your day with threads of curiosity and connection spun from the night's quiet revelations. And here, with the world sparkling with the potential of a new dawn, you stand on the cusp of possibilities, a modern traveler carrying the wisdom and warmth of ancient journeys within your heart. You know that as you move through today, the graceful echoes of a timeless night will guide your steps gently and surely as you write your own stories amidst the gentle embrace of morning's light. Let this day be your canvas, painted in the vibrant hues of memory and dream, where the whispers of history and the heart hum in harmony, a gentle symphony that accompanies you as you venture forth into the tapestry of life, open, aware, and deeply connected. With each step you take into the brightening day, the city welcomes you like an old friend, streets humming with a gentle energy as the world wakes around you. The morning unfolds in familiar rhythms, coffee brewing with its warm, inviting aroma, fresh pastries teasing senses, and the soft rustle of newspapers making gentle proclamations of the day's promises. As you wander through these waking moments, the memory of your nocturnal journey through ancient Greece lingers like a comforting tune played only for you. The agora's vibrant chatter, the philosophers' animated debates, the joyful laughter that spilled into the night. They are tales that stretch richly between your waking world and the realm of dreams. Your mind flickers back to those sunlit Greek mornings where market songs mixed with scents of oregano and thyme. It's like switching between tabs on your browser, then and now, overlapping, enhancing each other. It's within these linked moments that you realize, despite centuries and differences, the essence of life, community, curiosity, and connection endures in the rhythms beating softly under each dawn. Around you, the neighborhood whirs gently to life, its cadence familiar and comforting. The gentle clang of a cafe sign in the breeze and the soft murmur of early risers sipping their morning brews resonate with an unhurried syncopation, always known yet cherished anew each day. Life pulses vibrantly, like harmonized heartbeats, traveling from distant echoes that drift across time. Historians, still diligently unraveling the intricacies of ancient societies, hold dear the elusive secrets slipped slyly between cobbles and scrolls. Here, in your heart, you feel their timeless truths whispering quietly, calmingly, offering anchors in a world often swept by the galloping currents of change. Through lingering thoughts, parades a delightful prospect, where the playwrights, artisans, and thinkers of ancient Greece, curious about the inkling of tomorrow's inventions and tales, perhaps they mused quietly over their amphoras of swirling wine, sketching hopeful futures onto parchment with the same wonder found in this morning's light. With the tender brush of nostalgia painting the edges of your thoughts, you continue through the unfolding day, weaving inspiration into each encounter, each exchange, a nod to the stories spun by those who walked before you. The whispers of life's continuity glide along your conscience, like leaves carried on the river's gentle embrace, calm, steady, confident of their path. You find yourself seated on a park bench that catches the morning sun, its rays warming your skin and instilling an unhurried peace. With each breath, the calmness of night's reflection settles, savoring its retreat while new adventures unfold, gloriously besotted with the mystery of the morrow. A bird calls from a nearby tree, its song a sweet reminder of the seamless transition from one rhythm to another, and you understand. These moments are the sacred gaps, the in-betweens that hold life's most cherished secrets, gaps that allow time to dream and dreams to breathe. And so, as shadows lengthen across paths softly defined by morning's greeting, you promise yourself to carry this gentle wisdom, this timeless connection into the hours ahead, folded with care within your heart, warmed by the essence of ancient tales dipped tenderly into the hopes of new stories to come. With a soft smile playing at the corner of your lips, you rise, ready to embrace the world, an eager participant in the dance of life surrounded by whispers of the winds of time, cradling dreams stirred by the night, and blessings sown quietly beneath the loving veil of dawn. And so, as you continue your stroll through the city bathed in the gentle embrace of morning, each step feels like a harmonious note in the symphony of a day full of promise. The sun bathes everything in a warm golden hue, casting long, gentle shadows that dance softly with the breeze. The world feels both intimate and expansive, like an open book inviting you to write in its margins, to etch new stories intertwined with the echoes of the past. Your thoughts drift, carried by the comforting hum of life awakening around you. You pass by familiar faces, nodding greetings and exchanging warm smiles that serve as silent acknowledgments of shared humanity, a quiet chorus singing of community and connection. These everyday interactions, however brief, intertwine threads of belonging, weaving the fabric of life together into a beautiful tapestry of shared experiences. Each moment carries a certain reverence, a nod to the ancients whose footsteps once echoed on paths not so dissimilar to these. You ponder how their dreams might have mirrored your own, how their revelations might have tamed the air with insights that dance just out of reach, much like sunlight glinting off the surface of a moving stream. Historians debate over the minutiae, the specifics of our past, piecing together puzzles from fragments of what once was. Yet the truth that resonates within you is simpler, more profound. It's the stories, the timeless essence of life's shared journey that bind generation to generation. Our laughter, our dreams, our eternal search for connection. You pause by a fountain, the water's gentle splashing a soft reminder of life's perpetual motion. It sparkles under the brightening sky, droplets catching the light and refracting it into a kaleidoscope of colors, a brief, spontaneous celebration of the ordinary. And here's a whimsical thought. Imagine if those ancient scholars and thinkers could glimpse our world today. Would they marvel at our advances and smile knowingly at our small joys and struggles? They would likely find humor and familiarity in our memes, our tweets, our stories told in snippets and hashtags, echoing their own tales shared under starlit skies long ago. Drawing a deep breath, you continue your gentle journey, the rhythm of the city soothing, like a lullaby hummed softly by the universe itself. The soft footfalls of your shoes on cobblestone remind you of pages turning in a beloved book, a narrative unfolding, each step that you take writing a line in the journal of your day. Your path leads you toward a cozy cafe, its door open in invitation, promising warmth and aroma, a modern version of the communal gathering places of old, where ideas are exchanged as freely as cups of steaming coffee. You enter, the melodic chime of a bell above announcing your presence. Settling into a plush seat by the window, you sip your drink, each drop a delightful moment of tranquility, a pause that holds within it the echoes of ancient symposiums, the joy of shared meals, the gentle embrace of shared dreams. You watch the world outside, a parade of stories yet to unfold, and smile at the intertwined dances of past and present, a constant celebration of life's enduring narrative. The city breathes around you, its gentle sighs a lullaby of history and hope, a fascinating blend of what has been and what is yet to be. In this tender, momentary peace, you understand the heart of what you carry from your dream, a gentle echo of timeless connections, experiences woven across the tapestry of time. It whispers softly, reminding you that in every newborn dawn, in every shared narrative, lies the promise of a future yet to be written. With a last glance at the sky, vibrant and full of potential, you rise to embrace the day, carrying within you the resonant heartbeat of the ancients, a treasure trove of dreams, spoken softly and held tenderly as you step forward, eager to add your voice to the eternal chorus of life.